the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw for the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, it's Off the Bench.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3, a Tuesday edition here on Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp, Alondra Villarreal, Braxton Rizzuto. We've been trying to find caffeine-free drinks for Alondra to drink, and haven't found any winners so far, but put them in the chat if you know us. Apparently, that's what she's going to give up for Lent. I don't participate in Lent. One, I'm not Catholic. Even if I was, though, I don't think I'd be able to survive. So, look, I'm a man that knows my limitations. Let's go to the phone lines right now. Our guy Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football joins us right now. Nick, how are you this morning?
Doing great. How you doing?
Doing good. Nick, you taking in any Mardi Gras out there in the city today? What you got?
Yeah, I live like 2 blocks off St. Charles, so it's kind of not optional. Like you're in it even if you don't want to be in it. Like they're bringing it to your house. But yeah, we're out there, man. We're out there. We're having a good time. It's great to see the city. The weather's been great this year. It's been a great time.
Did you see Lane Kiffin on Endymion Saturday?
I did, yeah, and like everything's running on time this year too. On top of that, so like that's a major win. Like normally these things are like 2.5 hours behind when they're supposed to start. Like it seems like everything's running on time. The cleanup's been crazy good. So like New Orleans is on top of things this year. But as far as Lane goes, yeah, and then I've seen the video of like everybody coming up to them to take pictures. I don't know that I've ever seen someone regret a decision in real time the same way that it was like in that video. But I mean, I think it's awesome he's out there. And look, I feel like the way he handled, I don't know if you saw the float where they were kind of, clowning him a little bit,
right,
clowning Dale Benson a little bit. Like him treating it as a joke just kind of shows that he kind of, gets it. And even if he doesn't, he's smart enough to pretend like it doesn't bother him. So it just seems like Lane's kind of hitting the right notes right now too. So, that's a big part of being here. Like when people talk about fit and all that stuff, like these are kind of the little things beyond like just the coaching and winning that you kind of got to just be cool with and roll with. And him getting that early on, even again, like if he's just is smart enough to know that that's the right PR play, that's good. Because I don't feel like Brian Kelly got that right away at all. He tried and it just came off as fake. Like Lane's kind of, he's hitting the right moves. Like Tyler Shuck, we've seen him at all the right moves over and over and over. Like that stuff ends up mattering in the end. Like I'm on a rant here about Mardi Gras and how it relates to everything, but like I feel like how like Zion Williamson is someone who never really has felt like our guy. Like he's never been out there. He's never been. You don't see him at parades. You don't see him wearing like a Saints jersey anywhere. Like just those little things when people want to start calling you fat and it's a guy from Chicago. Like that'll get Louisiana behind you and rallying for you. But when you're not that guy, like they aren't going to show up for you the same way. So like. Those little things matter, man. Like you can just show up and try to be part of the community, and you're gonna have built-in loyalty forever. So I think Lane is smart to recognize that right away.
All right, Nick, sticking with New Orleans. Obviously, New Orleans Saints got a draft coming up here in April, and the name Jeremiah Love, I keep seeing it pop up, and I keep seeing people get into heated debates over this name. Some people love it, some people hate it. In your opinion, how serious of an option is that for the Saints in round 1?
Yeah, I think it's a real option. I'm running to my computer right now to get you some spreadsheets because I got some numbers that I want to rattle off here. But I think it's a real option. I think he's in this draft, in this class with that player. Like I think the thing that people do that drives me crazy when they have these conversations is that they never kind of equate it with what's actually happening. They just have these hard and fast rules. Like, well, I would never take a running back in the top 10. Well, cool. Like I generally agree with that too. But in a draft where there's really no quarterbacks besides the one. The offensive tackles aren't that great. The best pass rusher has Will Campbell's arms. Like, you aren't going to have, like, necessarily a ton of guys pushing other people down. So this is a weak top 10 draft. So I think you kind of gotta take that into consideration. And then when you look at Jeremiah Love, I think he's just Hold on, I'm looking this up real quick. But I think when you talk about Jeremiah Love, like he's a special player. Like his numbers, like you start doing these comparisons to Saquon, to Gibbs, to Bijan, to everybody else. That you look at, like the numbers are just stacking up incredibly in his favor, and you start breaking it down by run type versus top 25 opponents. All these things, like his numbers stand well above everybody else. He averages 8 yards a carry on outside zone runs. Like those are numbers that translate to the NFL. Like you're just hitting the crease and you're going. And obviously, the competition level is a little bit different, but I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can just dismiss him in that role. Like I think he's a special player. And again, like if you're telling me that you can get a pass rusher and the positional value is better there, and he's graded equally to Jeremiah Love, I'm taking that every single time. But if you're telling me that it's a little bit different, I'm looking at the running back, and I got to look at the special player, and like he does everything. Like, all right, I got it right here. Like Jeremiah Love, his explosive run rate was 17%. Bijan Robinson's was 16%. Ashton Genty's was 16%. Barkley was 16%. Gibbs was 16%. So you're ahead of all these guys there. Yards before contact versus after contact. Saquon was tops at 2 before contact. Love is second at 2.05. After contact, Love is at 4.3. That's the best among that whole group. Inside zone runs, he's the best one on those, 6.97 yards per carry out of the whole group. Talking about Jeremiah Love, Genty, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Saquon Barkley. Outside zone runs, he's top of that list too. Power runs, he's third on the list. The counter runs, he's third on the list again. Like you just go down and you can go through all these, and he's better than people that are, the top 12 picks in the NFL draft, and the numbers just stack up so favorably on all of them. And then, I think the most impressive thing about him is that against loaded boxes, he averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Like these numbers are insane, and like nobody else in this group compares to a lot of them. I think he's genuinely special. And as you go through this, I'm going to write something on our site. Like as you go through this, like you can start to see where the Genty case deteriorates as you get like more on like a molecular level of breaking this down, and you see where Love kind of. So I think he's different. I wouldn't have a problem picking him there.
I hear a lot of people say, like, the pushback of drafting a Jeremiah Love that high is, yeah, we like the player if he's the final piece for the Saints. And then they go on to say, you need this, this, and this. Like, in your opinion, not just Jeremiah Love, like running back in general, for you, how high up is that on the priority list?
I think it's high up on the priority list. And yeah, look, I think you do got to have all that. Like all those things are true. But
right.
Like if you're telling me that you can't go into free agency and say, hey, look, like we want to add 2 interior offensive linemen, spend a lot of money on them so that we can go draft Jeremiah Love. I don't think it's that hard to do. I don't understand why it's always talked about in a way where it's like mission impossible to do it. You just got to have the full scale plan. But like, I think this is always a little bit disingenuous too, because anything you're drafting, if you aren't building the right structure on them, you're wasting that player. Like Myles Garrett's being wasted in Cleveland, right? Like, but nobody's like, don't draft a pass rusher because he doesn't change your fortunes immediately. You obviously always have to build a good team. Now, like, yeah, the difference here is that the positional value is lower. Like the argument for it, and I think it's especially true like when you're in a different cap situation too. Like positional value matters a ton in that instance, because like if you're the Saints in 2019, let's use 2018. It's a real example. Like if you're the Saints in 2018, you're up against the cap, you don't have the money to go out to really sign a difference maker, a pass rusher. You got to kind of try to do something to get Marcus Davenport because it's going to change your fortunes, and you have no other way to acquire that player, and you don't have the cap space to go out and get it. So you got to try to do these things so they become a greater consideration. But if you're the Saints and you have a rookie quarterback and your cap, you got the dead money this year, you're a little iffy on the cap this year, but if you actually know how the cap works, like they're in the clear next year, nobody's going to be able to say they aren't in the clear because the numbers are going to be incredibly obvious. Like, I think you have a little bit more wiggle room because you have 5 years from now, really, until that first bloated cap number hits on Chuck if you sign him to an extension because of the way you can structure that contract. So, like, the idea to me that like, positional value should drive conversation here, no. Like, I think the Saints are in a situation where just the quality of the player should be at the forefront of it, because you have the financial wiggle room over the next 5 years to kind of construct it however you want. So, I just think there's a lot that goes into it, and I think every situation is unique. Again, like if you're telling me Ruben Bain Jr. is graded exactly the same as Jeremiah Love, I'm taking Ruben Bain. But if you're telling me that Jeremiah Love is higher and Bain's below, I'm literally drafting BPA, because I just don't think, I think when you're in a rebuild and you have cap space, which the Saints are going to have, just getting the best players on your team is the thing that's going to get you to the next level. It's not going to be, well, we got good value on a pass rusher and good value on a running back. No, go buy the pass rusher if you think he's better, and draft the running back if you think he's better. And who cares? You got 5 years to kind of get everything into place and be ready. But right now, you just need to be building a team to take advantage of this rookie quarterback. And the best way to do that is just to build the best team.
Nick Underhill of New Orleans Without Football, our guest right now. Nick, if they do in fact go Jeremiah Love round 1, how do you think the rest of the draft falls for the Saints? I mean, everyone wants to talk receiver. They want to talk pass rusher. Where do you think it falls after Jeremiah Love if they do go that way?
I think it's a good draft, for those two too, those two positions specifically. I think it's kind of deep on pass rushers. I think second, third round, the Illinois guy will probably be there. There's a Tennessee pass rusher that'll probably be there. Both those guys are pretty good. The guy from Illinois, I think, had 11 and a half sacks last year, or 11 sacks. And he's probably around there. Got to show you can do a little bit more in the run game, but I think you can hit. I think you can hit on wide receiver and edge rusher in rounds 2 and 3, and get guys that can help. And also probably near the end of the first round, if you really wanted to get a difference maker, the other Miami pass rusher is probably going to be available, Messidor, probably in the 20s, as things look right now. I won't be surprised if he actually gets moved up a little bit as this process goes along, but. There's guys there that I think you can go get. Chris Bell, a wide receiver coming off the ACL, he could dip a little bit, and he already has built-in chemistry with Shuck. Obviously, they were both at Louisville in 2024. I think he averaged almost 8 yards after the catch per reception. That's something they badly need in this offense. Surratt from Indiana is going to be there. There's a ton of guys that I think you can get at either one of those positions that can probably help. Obviously, Jordan Tyson and Mekhi Lemon and Carnell Tate are way better than the rest of the group, and they're going to probably be top 10, top 12 picks. But, I think if you wait a little bit, you can get a difference maker at some of those spots. So however you kind of want to do it, I think the Saints sit in a really good spot. I think they can get somebody at 8 to help their offense. Look, if Alontae Taylor goes, and you told me they took Delane, I wouldn't hate that pick at all. I think that would be a good pick too. Caleb Downs would be a good pick there. David Bailey, Ruben Bain, there's a lot of stuff they can do. But yeah, if they go running back at 8, I still think they can check off those other things. Probably grab a guard in round 4. There's just so many needs here that if you just start drafting the best players at every spot, the guys that you think are actually the best players, instead of chasing, we got to get this, we got to get this. I don't think they can screw up. I think your odds of hitting on your picks, go way up if you aren't chasing that stuff. Every single time we talk about one of these guys, and it's this pick didn't work. Trevor Penning, they felt like they had to go get a tackle. The Fuaga's been a little bit iffy with the health and, everything overall. I still am very high on his potential, but they backed themselves into a corner where it was they have to take a tackle, whether it's the third best one available or the fourth best one available. Andrus Peat kind of fell into that bucket a little bit. Every single time, Sheldon Rankins, it was they got to get the interior pass rusher. They got to. Every single time, they chase that. That's where the mistakes end up getting made. So if they really do BPA, I feel like they're in a way better situation.
Nick, you got a couple of big-time veterans on this team who's the Saints have to make a decision on their future. And, of course, I'm talking Cam Jordan and Demario Davis. Where do you think things stand with them? I mean, I imagine the Saints and Saints fans would love to have both of them back, but where do things kind of stand right now?
If I had to make a prediction today, I would predict Cam back, Demario leaves. And I think they want both of them back. I just think they want both of them back at a specific price. And, I think Demario is somebody who is incredibly intentional with his words and what he says, his post-game press conferences or pre-planned sermons a lot of times. he'll come in with his talking points for his weekly media session that he's, saying for he wants fans to hear it, but it's intended for everybody in the building to hear it. And you can just tell he prepares and he thinks about everything and he's thoughtful. So when he's out there talking about, the business needs to align and, he's looking at his options and his doors open, I take him at his word. I don't think he just says those things. And every other time his contract is expiring, like there wasn't that stuff. He wasn't going on, Hey Adam's show and doing these press tours. And, I think it's all very intentional. I don't think the door's closed on him coming back. I think he'd be open to coming back. But I do think that, he's looking for just that right combination of situation, playing time, coach, money, opportunity. And I also think, he's very aware that he's, in the backside of his 30s, he's stacked up a lot of accolades, and he's probably right on that cusp of getting into the Hall of Fame, and another All-Pro would probably do it. And, if you're playing for, the Rams, like if you're playing for the Rams and you're on Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, you're in the playoffs, Chris Collinsworth saying your name every night when everybody, all the voters are watching and you're making plays and they're highlighting you. I think the odds of getting those accolades goes up a little bit. And, I think that's probably where he's at. I think he's at that legacy point, and the Saints are on the up and up. And look, going back to him being intentional, like him constantly talking about how it was the happiest he's been playing football in a long time. Like, I think that means a lot too. I think he really enjoyed playing for Brandon Staley. And I think things with the previous regime kind of, started to wear out, and it took the joy out of the game a little bit. So I think, him feeling that, like, probably adds to his ability to chase that longevity. So I think there's a lot of things about here that he likes, but I also think that he's definitely open to the opportunity elsewhere. And I just think he's too good of a player, and I think he's someone that could definitely help a contender get over the hump. So I just respect his game too much to assume that good offer isn't going to come. So my guess would be that he goes, but, I think the door's definitely open both ways.
Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football. Nick, thanks so much for hopping on with me today.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right, that was Nick Underhill talking all things New Orleans Saints. We're going to take a quick time out when we get back. LSU looked like they were going to lose a staffer to the NFL. Now they have announced his return to LSU. We'll talk a little bit about that next. You're on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
All right, banking should feel personal because, well, it is. At First American Bank and Trust, you're not just an account number. You are a neighbor with locations across Louisiana. They deliver personal service backed by the strength and technology you expect from a modern bank. So whether you're opening a checking account, growing your business, financing a home, or planning for the future, their team takes the time to understand your goals and build a plan that works for you. It's local decision-making, trusted relationships, real service. That is the difference. You can visit them online at fabt.com today to learn more. First American Bank and Trust, banking built around you.
That's right. For more than 100 years, they've helped Louisiana families purchase their first home, build businesses, grow their businesses, plan for the future, and it's all done with local bankers who live and work right here in our community. So know your banker, get straight answers, work with people that actually care about your success. And when you call, no phone trees, no out-of-state decisions being made on a loan, just honest banking that's built on trust. First American Bank and Trust, FABT.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
All right, we are so fired up to be back with RejuveMe and RejuveMeMedical.com. Several locations across
more than
Louisiana.
several. Are you kidding me?
Baton Rouge, right there on Bluebonnet and Jefferson. You've got also the Bluebonnet in Highland. You've got Prairieville, Metairie, Slidell, Covington, Houma, Shreveport, Monroe, Lake Charles, Lafayette. Also, you got some locations there in Mississippi, and they have been the leader in HRT. All right, hormone replacement therapy, helping you regain that energy, that boost that you once had, getting back to feeling like your normal self. Go see them today at rejuvememedical.com.
That's right. Yeah, kind of like Groovy's kind of a little wiry. If you're not feeling fiery anymore as a man, you get a little bit older, you got that hormones, they start getting out of whack a little bit. Well, go there, get a medical, get a panel, get a blood panel just to see. Go see what's happening if there's something. Maybe it's not, but if there is, they are the leader in Louisiana for over 10 years at hormone replacement therapy. Go check them out. rejuvememedical.com.
All right, welcome back in. Tuesday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp here with you. Alondra Villarreal, Braxton Rizzuto here as well. Well, guys, Lane Kiffin wins again because it was reported on Friday. Reports had surfaced that safeties coach Jake Olsen would leave LSU to become the safeties coach with the Washington Commanders. Well, yesterday afternoon, Pete Nakos of On3 reported that Olsen will remain with the Tigers on the coaching staff. Again, it's just another win for Lane Kiffin. I mean, think about it. Shortly after Kiffin got this job, I mean, it was just a few days before that early signing period. And remember, all the talk was Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson. Are they going to sign in the early signing period or are they going to wait? The reason they were considering waiting was because the status of Blake Baker was up in the air. He had interviewed for the Tulane head coaching job. Everyone here really expected Blake Baker to take that job. Well, at the last second, Lane Kiffin convinced him one way or the other to stay here in Baton Rouge. So Blake Baker back as LSU defensive coordinator. That means that Corey Raymond stays. That means that Jake Olsen, who came with Blake Baker from Missouri, is over here. I mean, basically your entire defensive staff stayed outside of your D-line coach because Blake Baker did not take that Tulane job. And it goes far beyond the coaching staff. Lane Kiffin said at his press conference a few weeks ago, recapping the entire signing class, whether it was the transfer portal, the high school players, back in, about 3 weeks ago, that he was asked the question, why did you feel the need to follow Sam Levitt to Knoxville and talk to him one more time? And then Kiffin was very blunt. He said, I really thought I should have sealed the deal and not let him leave Baton Rouge without committing. I wasn't able to do that, and I realized my mistake, so I flew out to Knoxville to talk to him. Kiffin said, I don't like being told no. When someone tells me no, it only makes me want to keep going even more. So he did that with Sam Levitt. He went up to Knoxville. He talked to him. Boom, Sam Levitt's an LSU Tiger. He did it with Blake Baker. He talked to Baker. Baker pulled his name out of contention for the Tulane job. And he convinced the other two quarterbacks after Sam Levitt signed. Like, you got Landon Clark and Sam Levitt pretty much back-to-back. Clark was actually first, but it was within about a 24-hour window of each other. And then you still convinced Husan Longstreet from USC to come over. There's a lot of schools Husan Longstreet could have went to that had a much easier path, a much less competitive path to the field, to that starting job. But Lane Kiffin has a way of convincing people, hey, buy into my vision. There's a chance we do special things here. And Jake Olsen's just the latest. Pulls his name out of contention to be the safeties coach with the Washington Commanders. We saw this with Charlie Weiss Jr. Remember, Charlie Weiss Jr. was going back and forth between Ole Miss and LSU due to the playoff run. And Tiger fans were like, okay, well, when he's done with the Ole Miss run, he'll come over here. Then multiple NFL teams, he was linked to them for the offensive coordinator position. A lot of people thought he was going to take that Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator position. And what does Charlie Weiss Jr. do? He ultimately pulls his name out and wants to stay here at LSU. To me, that shows the buy-in of everyone involved. You got Baker to stay. Baker turned down a head coaching job. Charlie Weiss Jr. turned down the same position, but in the NFL. Most people would consider that a step up. Jake Olsen turned down the same position, but in the NFL. All of them to come back and work under Lane Kiffin because they all going in the same direction. They all believe in this goal. You got Sam Levitt to leave and come back to LSU after you let him leave this building without committing. You landed not one, not two, but three quarterbacks who probably could have went to other programs and started, but they have that much belief in Lane Kiffin and what he's building here in Baton Rouge and this system he is putting in place to take a chance and say, hey, I'll push that down the road a little bit. I'll kick that can down the road. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to see what we got here in Baton Rouge. And I think that's huge. Like safeties coach and no safeties coach. Like some schools don't even have a safeties coach. Some schools will just do the DB coach. Like Corey Raymond did that here for a while. Corey Raymond was not always just corners coach. He was the DB coach. So you could say, okay, well, you didn't lose the safety coach grade. It's always nice to have him back. You could replace him. Or even if you don't, Raymond could just be the DB coach. But it's bigger than that. You've convinced multiple people. Like Caden Durham pulled his name out of the portal. Harlem Berry announced he was coming back to school. That's when losing your running backs coach Frank Wilson to an SEC rival in Ole Miss. Both of those guys decided to stay here at LSU. I mean, there were multiple guys that put their names in the portal and came right back out. I mean, I think, like to me, Kyle Parker was a big loss in the portal. That one hurt. And Akarius Kern. You would have liked to have kept both of them. Outside of those guys, you didn't lose any of your big-time players in the transfer portal. And the ones that did enter came back. I mean, Trey'Dez Green was one of the first people to announce he was coming back. DJ Pickett coming back. Like, you had the cornerstone. You had the big-name pieces of this program all buy into Lane Kiffin, and now the coaches are doing it as well. Whether it's Blake Baker, whether it's Charlie Weiss Jr., whether it's Jake Olsen. All of these guys have such a big buy-in because they believe in what Lane Kiffin is doing here in Baton Rouge. You love to see it. And as an LSU fan, you got to be excited because the guys in that building, again, the returning players, whether it's a Levitt or a Landon Clark or Husan Longstreet, or now multiple coaches on this staff turning down positions at other spots. And for like Blake Baker, that's a step up. For Charlie Weiss Jr., like you had a chance to be an NFL offensive coordinator. Same with Jake Olsen. That's an NFL job. A lot of people would love to have those jobs. All of them decided to return to LSU for one reason or another. And I think it all boils down to Lane Kiffin and what he's building here in Baton Rouge. All right, we'll take a timeout. We get back. We just got a few more segments left on this Tuesday. We'll talk a little Saints. We got a new team joining the Mountain West. It's a big-time name that you're probably pretty familiar with if you follow college football. And then we'll close it out with Ask the Bench. That's all coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to gcopnet.com. That is the website for Gulf Coast Office Products. And look, we tell you all the time, it is one of those situations where if you need a document, you can't really wait. It's not like, oh, we'll get somebody in here to fix it. No, you got to have it done right then and there. And so that's what GCOP does for you every single time because they have the fastest service response times in the region, top of the line, Canon copiers and printers, and a local team that actually picks up the phone when you call them. From small businesses to major enterprises, GCOP builds custom solutions that save you time, money, and headaches. So stop fighting with your office equipment and let the pros handle it. And that is always going to be Gulf Coast Office Products. That's why LSU, the Saints, the Pelicans, the Raging Cajuns all trust GCOP. They are truly the best in the business. Find all that information on their website at gcopnet.com.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
If you need a friend, don't look to a stranger. You know in the end.
Well, speaking of diving in, would
Head
you like
first.
to dive into a Russell pool? Because when you see what they can do for you, you'll be blown away. I mean, they're going to make the pool of your dreams. In fact, that's their tagline because they know it is factual. Let's build your dream pool. And what better time to get that process started than right now because you are going to enjoy it year long. This is Louisiana. It is always pool season here in Louisiana, but this is truly a one-stop shop. We're talking about construction, maintenance, retail, all of that you handle with one company. That company is Russell Pool Company, and you can trust them. We trust them. Everybody they build pools for trust them. LSU, the Tigers trust them as well.
Yeah, let them build your dream pool. They can do everything from design to landscape architect to financing options. They can do it all. When you think of quality pools, you think of Russell Pools. RussellPools.com.
Welcome back in Tuesday edition of OTB. We got about 2 more segments left. Alondra, bangers today. It reminds me of like all these different 80s movie soundtracks. It's incredible.
It is 80s Tuesday.
You know what I was listening to the other day?
What?
Of all bands? ABBA.
I mean, they're like having a resurgence right now.
Are they really? See, I didn't even know that.
I don't know. I went to Chelsea's one
Yeah,
day,
right down
like
the road.
just randomly, and I didn't know that it was like a themed night or anything like that. And it was like they were playing ABBA. Basically, I think it was like a disco or a 70s night or something. And they were playing ABBA, and like all the kids knew all the words to it. And I was like, where are y'all getting this from?
Right. Like, that doesn't seem like a band that gets talked about a lot.
I guess Mamma Mia.
So when I was younger, we went and saw Mamma Mia. And then, like, you know, it was like, okay, whatever. And looking back on it, I'm like, they had one band have an entire movie just based off of their songs.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty, because it wasn't a biopic. Like,
No,
it's not.
it's based off ABBA.
It's just, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
the other
It's a
day,
great
I was washing dishes and Victoria wasn't home. So I was like, I'm putting my headphones on, had some ABBA come up. I listened to ABBA for like an hour. I mean, you want to talk about some good songs there with ABBA. And like, what I like about them is like every song's different, but they also have their own unique sound at the same time. A great group. And listen to some more ABBA. Okay, right now, I wanted to bring this up for a little bit. Just hit on this for just a few minutes here. North Dakota State football is going to join the Mountain West. Now, this is football only pretty much immediately. It's going to take into effect July 2026, so they will be in the Mountain West for the foreseeable future in football only. And, you know, a lot of people look at this and be like, oh, yeah, okay, it's an FCS school moving up a level of competition. We've seen it before. Like, we've seen it the other way, too. Idaho, the Vandals, you know, they couldn't quite compete on the FBS level. They moved down a level. They're kind of an FCS power right now. So, I mean, we've seen it the other way. But, I mean, a lot in recent memory. James Madison's done this. Coastal Carolina did this. Missouri State, Delaware State. Like, there's been some teams. Sacramento State is in the process of doing that as well. But North Dakota State moving up to me is interesting. Like, every time I look at North Dakota State on someone's schedule, on like a big name program schedule, I'm like, why are you scheduling North Dakota State? Because they're an absolute wagon. Like, don't schedule North Dakota State. North Dakota State has 10 Division I national championships between 2011 and 2025. I mean, that's a 14-year period. They had 8 titles in a 9-year period from 2011 to 2019. And then they had another in 2021, another in 2024. This is not your run-of-the-mill program. Like, oh, you know, this is cute. They're going to try to move up a level of competition. The Mountain West better watch out. I mean, because they've had sustained success for a number of years. A number of their coaches have gotten bigger jobs. And they've still done this. They went through a turnstile of coaches. Think about all the quarterbacks that have come through there. Carson Wentz was the number 2 pick out of North Dakota State. And before he messed up his knee in Philadelphia, he probably would have been the MVP of the NFL that year. Now, he never quite rebounded properly from that injury. But, I mean, look, Carson Wentz has had a solid NFL career, and he was a really good NFL starter for a number of years. He comes out of North Dakota State. Trey Lance. I mean, his NFL career hasn't worked out like a lot of people thought it would, but he was the number 3 pick. Yeah, he's bounced around team to team, but, I mean, 49ers sold the farm to get Trey Lance. We always talk about it saying, hey, they're lucky they hit on Brock Purdy in the 7th round because they gave up a lot to move up to number 3, and it was specifically to take Trey Lance. Christian Watson with the Packers. He was a 2nd-round pick. He's a really good NFL receiver. He's had some injury issues, but when he's out there, he's as good as anybody on the field. This is a program that you got to watch out for. I mean, this is not your run-of-the-mill, oh, let me see if we can make something happen here and try to move up. They're going to be a problem for the Mountain West, I think, for a while. I mean, just this year at the Senior Bowl, Jake and Matt interviewed Cole Payton. He's one of the good performers at quarterback. He's a North Dakota State guy. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have Cody Mauch starting on their offensive line. North Dakota State guy. I mean, this is a school that time and time again just continues to churn out NFL talent. And, you know, I heard a lot of people when Idaho moved down from FBS to FCS a few years back, everybody said, oh, this is going to be good for them. They can't compete in the FBS. They're going to be a lot stronger of a program. I get it. I think this is a great move for North Dakota State. I mean, they're going to get extra money out of this deal. I mean, it's not a Power 4 conference, but I mean, the Mountain West has been around for a long time. There's some good programs in the Mountain West. And I think North Dakota State's going to come in right away and compete. This is a team to look out for. Like, again, Sacramento State's in the process of doing this as well, moving up. And they're going to try to move up in football first, but they hope to have multiple sports move up. North Dakota State, they're ready to go right now. I mean, up in Fargo, they love this team. You ever seen a game inside the Fargo Dome on TV? I've obviously never been in person, but that place is rocking. That's one of the toughest places to play. I mean, I remember when I was at Southeastern, they had a really good year one season. They make it to the postseason. Everybody's like, okay, all roads lead to the Fargo Dome. Get ready. If you want to make the national championship, you got to go through the Fargo Dome. And they've been the gold standard on that level of ball for quite some time. No, I mean, schools have caught up to them, like Montana State, Indiana, Illinois State. Like, teams have caught up to them, but I think this is a huge move for the Mountain West because despite the fact that they're FCS, that's a huge brand that everybody knows about. You have a lot of big-time NFL players that have went through that school. I think that is a big-time move for the Mountain West. We'll see how they compete, how long it takes them to adjust. Again, I kind of think it's going to happen right away, but, I mean, I am really excited to see what North Dakota State can do in the Mountain West. Remember, they played Colorado opening game of the year 2 years ago, and, I mean, there were people picking North Dakota State to win that game, and they almost did and probably should have. Colorado came back. They won that game. I think it was about a 4 or 5 point win, kind of a come from behind win in overtime. But North Dakota State had them on the ropes. They've beaten a number of big time programs. This is a big time get for the Mountain West. And I think North Dakota State is a team to keep an eye on coming up here in the near future. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll close this thing out like we do every day. Get your questions in the chat. We got Ask the Bench coming up next here on OTB.
Off the bench. Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Welcome back in. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of OTB. Taylor Sharp sitting in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. We'll close out today like we do every day. A little bit of Ask the Bench. First one here. Ask the Bench. Favorite Mardi Gras throw to catch? First off, Alondra, what'd you catch at Spanish Town?
Mostly just beads. That one Jello shot that I took from the float. Let this man just inject one into my mouth. I don't know why I did that. I got some cups, but they were mostly just beads.
I like the light up beads, and they got like the little.
I didn't get any light up ones.
They always have like the Mardi Gras hat or something.
Yeah.
I like those.
That was Walden.
I wish I went to the one this past weekend.
Spanish Town?
Whichever one. Yeah,
that's
the one where Drew Brees was.
He was
Endymion.
Was it Endymion?
Was it? It seemed like it was during the day.
Or was it? No, never mind. Because Lane was Endymion.
Speaking of, leads us right to the next one. Ask the Bench, would you rather be on a float with Drew Brees or Lane Kiffin?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees.
Lane Kiffin sober.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Brees is New Orleans. Like.
Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit.
Also, Drew's my GOAT.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
So, like, for me, like Alondra Saints fan, I'm not. I'm going to go Lane Kiffin because I'm a lot bigger LSU fan than I am a Saints fan. So, like would I pester Lane Kiffin a lot more? Yeah, probably. He'd probably want to get rid of me by about 10 minutes. But, yeah, no, I'm picking Lane Kiffin just because, I mean, my LSU ties are a lot bigger than my Saints
You saw
ties.
Tyler Shuck just like chunking like little balls.
That's somebody I want to be on a parade float with. Tyler Shuck, you kidding me? You see him walking? He was so before that parade. Like I know the video went viral of him chucking beads at people, but before that, he was just walking down the street with everybody else, carrying a case of beer in one hand and a king cake in the other.
Wow.
Like, are you kidding me?
Oh no, he's fit in perfectly.
From Derek Carr saying his favorite restaurant in New Orleans was Chipotle to Tyler Shuck rocking the king cake, carrying a case of beer and pelting people with beads. Like, you want to talk about a 180?
Yeah.
And like you can see it. Like the vibes are so much higher.
Oh, I want to know
in New Orleans
Jordan's
right now.
opinion on that.
That's my answer. I'm taking option 3. I'm going Tyler Shuck. I want to be on a parade float with Tyler Shuck. Ask the Bench, what is wrong with a closet nursery? Guys, it's not big enough.
Honestly, nothing.
It's not big enough.
Oh, do you really need that much space for a baby?
Well,
This is gonna be in
Victoria
the
wants the
bed.
whole like dresser next to it with the changing table on top.
Yeah.
And then so I mean like a lot of these things come in sets. Like it's not just a crib. You would think it's just a crib. It probably should be just a crib. It's not. Most of these are going to come in sets where it's like a crib, you got a dresser with a built-in changing table on top, and then a second dresser on the other side. Like it's a decent sized closet. I don't think blank space Razor Sharp's going to be able to make that
You're
happen.
gonna name him after me? Blank
yeah,
space?
yeah. There you go.
Oh,
His
wow.
first name will be Blank Space. Your middle name is Blank
Wait,
Space.
okay, so you know what I was thinking about? I forgot to mention this. So I watched the game on TV yesterday, right? The baseball game. So I got to listen to Ben and Lynn on the call. And I texted y'all yesterday and I was like, what are Ben and Lynn even talking about? Is this how people feel listening to OTB? Like, I didn't hate it, but I was like, is this how people feel when they listen to us?
That was the tripod.
That was the tripod.
For sure.
And then also he said, wait, what did he say? Lynn, I think it was whenever Milam threw to first and York had that pick. He was like, that play needs to go straight to Broadway. And I was like, that's elite. I hadn't heard that one
Dude.
before from Lynn, but that's a great one.
Lynn has so many sayings,
Nah,
and
me and you
he
were talking about this earlier.
and he very rarely repeats the sayings. Like
Yeah.
he's got a Rolodex.
Except for Pucker Up.
He does pucker up every
But
home run,
that's-
but that's also kind of become his signature now.
It has, but I'm
with home
kind of
runs.
over Pucker Up.
Braxton's
you can't
over.
oversaturate. You
Braxton's
can't
over it.
oversaturate the Pucker Up. You can't.
Me and Braxton had this conversation right before the show. Not a Rollins guy.
I like Lynn Rollins,
I love
but like,
Lynn Rollins.
let's.
I get it. I get the pucker up thing, but I mean, there's so many sayings. I'm trying to remember. I think it was either Bo or Bryce. I think it was Bryce or Jordan that took all the hits, the hit by pitches back when you could still lean into him. I think he set the NCAA single season record or something like that. And he got hit, didn't even flinch, went down to first base, and Lynn Rollins said he's as tough as a green pine cone.
Some of it doesn't make sense.
Well, no, that one's perfect.
That one's fine.
Because
but,
you stop and think, and you're like, yeah, you ever pick up a green pine cone? Do you realize how hard a green pine cone is? Like, that's perfect. Because, he gives good ones, but they're also, kind of thought-provoking.
Have you heard the one about Jake Brown when he got hot? Hit his second home run?
Wait, no, what was it?
I think it was he hit the second home run and Lynn was said, he's hotter than a fire ant on a fever blister or something like that.
Bro, that's elite.
I know, but
What
I
do
don't know
you
how you
mean?
come up with it.
Right. And this one's so obvious. That play needs to go straight to Broadway. That's obvious. But I would
Right.
have never thought to say that.
He's got too much time during the day.
Dude, they're so good. I mean, what's the one T-Bub used to bring up? The blue
blue,
skies, the color of a something
Glacier,
egg.
the
yeah.
Gatorade.
Yeah, the blue glacier Gatorade.
Is
that,
it new when he comes up with the different colors of the sky before right when the game starts?
That's what we're talking about.
So that's
the
new,
blue.
or has that always been a thing?
He's done that a
Yeah,
few
he's
times.
done that, yeah.
Okay.
He's done that a few times. I think Lynn's a treasure. I mean,
I love
so
it.
I was listening to it
They
on
were
the.
talking about the vernal equinox yesterday.
Okay, I was wondering.
And I was like, this is so OTB coded. I'm like,
Right.
this is how people feel when they listen to us.
you
I
want to
mean,
get
I was fine. I didn't care. I thought it was funny. But I'm like, what are they even talking about right now?
Flynn locked into LSU baseball. Give him that broadcast.
Yeah.
Matt Flynn be all over that. I was listening to the radio call yesterday evening because I was out and about. But yeah, I caught Lynn game 3. Most of the game. Game 3 is the one that I caught him the most, and I mean, just incredible stuff. Him and Ben are great together because Ben's normally to the point, analytical guy, but Lynn brings out the personality in Ben as well. Ben is really, really good. And here's an ask the bench question. Are you a neutral ground or sidewalk person? I'm assuming you mean where you stand for the parade. I'm sidewalk. I'm not big on the neutral ground because you got to cross to get there and back. I'll park on the same side of the road as I am on the sidewalk. A lot easier in and out. Again, this is coming from someone who's not a parade person, so as much convenience as I could possibly get, that's what I'm going to go with. I went to a Christmas parade out in Denham back in December, but and done a Mardi Gras parade in a number of years. Guys, king cakes are about to go away. I think today is the last day.
It is. It's Tuesday.
Is it? I'm gonna have to go pick one up. But I was still, like Victoria's not big into sweets right now.
What's your favorite king cake?
Just strawberry cream cheese. As far as the filling, like I gotta have some filling. Like I have this really. It's apparently a hot take because most people I know love the plain cinnamon. I think if you eat a plain cinnamon king cake, like you just like a crappy cinnamon roll.
You ever had a banana pudding?
Oh yeah. I've
good.
had pretty much all of them, but I like the strawberry cream cheese. So like still a traditional, but not too basic to where it's just dry and there's no filling in the middle. Like all the same people who are like, I just like the cinnamon unfilled. That's all. Off the take. You gotta have a filling in the middle. Strawberry cream cheese.
Some are too sweet.
Is elite. Some of them are, but that's why you get the strawberry. It's got a little bit of the fruit flavor, sweetness with the cream cheese.
Ooh, chantilly cake. King cake is really
See, I'm
good.
out on the chantilly.
I don't know. I haven't tried it, but I've heard a lot of hype about it.
Can't be too fruity. That's why I go the strawberry cream cheese. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for a Tuesday edition of OTB. We recap LSU baseball. Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football just a few minutes ago hopped on, talk all things New Orleans Saints. They got some veteran contracts they're going to have to work on. And then Patrick Wright, voice of your LSU Lady Tigers, came on to recap LSU baseball and the big-time game between LSU versus South Carolina that occurred last Saturday. We're back same time, same place tomorrow. Stay tuned. More OTB tomorrow.
Off the bench.
Remind you about our friends over at Oshner Health. When it comes to your health, you want a team that you can trust. That's why so many families across Louisiana choose Oshner Health. From primary care to advanced specialty care, Oshner brings together top physicians, innovative technology, and convenient locations all across the state. So whether it's a routine checkup, a sports injury care situation, heart health, or something a little bit more serious, they are with you every step of the way. Healthcare isn't one size fits all. We tell you that all the time. It is personal, and at Oshner, your care is built around you. So take control of your health today. You can visit oshner.org to find a provider or schedule an appointment. And I tell you all the time, man, when we were putting together Elite Training Academy, they were certainly the partner that we wanted. It's been a great partnership. You can visit that location of Burbank as well. All right.